Hi, in the previous session, we had discussed that what is research and the objective of doing research, the motivation, the characteristics of doing good research, and what the quantitative and qualitative analysis, what kind of geographic investigation tools we are using, and the steps in the geographical investigation. Now, in this session, I'll be discussing with certain case studies which will give an insight into how we are doing research in geography and what kind of methodology we are using in order to get some concrete solutions. So first of all, I'll be discussing with you a case study on social media. This is a recent study I have done, making use use of Corona time. Now here we have collected data by filling up the Google form, because during the Corona time it was not possible to practically go out in the field and to collect the data. Therefore, we have circulated a Google form, and we have conducted certain interviews in order to conduct this study. Now, when we go to the website or we read different newspaper, we see that a lot of informations are coming on the misuse of social media, the frauds which are coming up, how people are being harassed on social media. Now, reading those news, we thought, let us, see that how over the years the use of social media is increasing. Plus, also let us see that though social media is used more for networking and other purposes and leading to proliferation of crime, but simultaneously let us see the angle that how good it is in order to solve or help in investigation of the crime. So, social media, we all know that they are the forms of the electric communications, and like websites, social network, microblogging, and people, there's a huge online community which share information, their ideas and personal messages, and so on. And over the years, the use of these social media tools is increasing day by day. So they are not and these are greatly affecting the behavior and the life of the people in general. A lot of people, regardless of their age, gender, etc., are getting connected through social media. There are a lot of friends and followers, but even though the networking is increasing, but definitely there's a lot of fake profiles which are coming up, and they're often spamming the legitimate user. Inappropriate content is being shared over there. Misrepresentation of facts is also there, and many a times harassment also has taken place to people. So though it is growing on one hand, right, as an important media, but definitely is had its own disadvantage, and but disadvantage in terms of harassment, etc., which I've just mentioned. But since criminals are using it as a quick response, real time, to plan, execute their activities, similarly the government law enforcement agencies are also using it as a tool to control, prevent, protect, and investigate the crime. So with this aim, we thought, let us first now examine what is the importance of the social media, to highlight social media as a tool for and challenge for investigation of crime, to see the distribution and nature of social media crime in Delhi, and also let us see the vulnerability assessment. And vulnerability basically means the more exposed area, the areas where there is more likelihood of occurrence of that particular incident. So we have to identify the emerging hotspots for cybercrime in Delhi, and how we can meet the challenge by strengthening our investigations, dealing with sustainable and harmless use of social media. So this is the research methodology we have developed, right from the data acquisition to data analysis. So both primary and secondary data have been done. As I said, that we have taken primary data through Google Forms. So around 259 questionnaires we had got filled. We also took the interviews of the people from Delhi Police and NIA and National Crime Bureau in order to understand more about it. We have interacted with many people who have worked on similar work in order to gather data from them. In terms of secondary data, we have consulted books and census reports. We have journal and newspaper articles, and Delhi Police Cybercrime Cell website, plus the National Crime Records Bureau data also has been consulted. While analyzing the data, we had tabulated the data from all the sources. We have converted them in statistical diagram for display, and we have geospatial methods. So we have done the map digitization and processing of those maps. We applied the overlay technique using different theme map in order to understand the vulnerability assessment of crime in Delhi. This is the sample of the questionnaire we have prepared. This is the study area map of Delhi. We have divided into different districts because we have conducted our study district wise. This is just a sample of what kind of data which have been gathered from secondary sources, showing the share of internet users and how it is getting they are getting impacted by the social media in certain areas. Again, this is a sample of how we have collected the data, secondary data, and we have presented it in order to understand the concept well regarding social media. So the data which have been gathered through primary sources, we have converted them into as these pie charts are samples, and we have tried to include all kind of information which is relevant to our study. So this is just the way how we have represented that data in the form of the pie diagrams to display them. This is again showing the same display. And by compilation of that secondary as well as the primary data, we have been able to understand the nature and distribution of social media crime in Delhi. So first of all, we have understood that what are the cyber crimes which people are facing. So we have things like email fraud, we have data theft, we have fake calls, we have ATM net banking issues, we have insurance issues, we have cheating, bitcoins, mobile app related crime, online transaction, business email. And this has been created by author based on the data we have gathered through our questionnaire as well as what we have gathered from the Delhi Cyber Crime Cell. So once you've understood the type of cyber crime, it is again important to understand what is the motive behind the social crime. So this again we have gathered from the Delhi Cyber Cell Crime Cell data plus what we have gathered from our personal primary surveys as well. So people usually do the social media crime because they want to give personal harm to people. They want to create national insurgencies, they want to create financial irregularities. So under personal harm, maybe they want to take personal revenge, they have problems like anger, they want to give rise to frauds, extortion, sexual assault, pranks, causing disrespect to people, abatement to society, and these are quite common nowadays. For national insurgencies like political threats, terrorism activity, inciting hate against the country, sale and purchase of illegal drugs. Financial irregularities in the form of developing own business, spreading piracy, and stealing information. So once you've understood the motive also, and from the data which we have gathered from the people district wise, we have also plotted here the major crime distribution of Delhi. And we can see that there are some crimes which are very prominent in all the zones, and for example theft, and living beside the percentage of other crimes varied from district to district. So this is the major crime distribution we have been able to show you with the help of the GIS tool, geographical information tool, which we use in geography, using tool in geography, yes, and using the overlay technique under the GIS, we have tried to build these emerging hotspots of social media crime. So what we have done is the data which we have gathered from the National Crime Bureau the Delhi Cyber Cell, and also from the primary data which we have gathered. So we have made different theme maps, like for example we have placed a map of income group, above that we have placed a map of educational standard of people, above that population standard of the people, and then we have plotted the crime, and finally we have got that these are the areas which are becoming the major centers for social media crimes in Delhi. So definitely if a person is giving a glance to these maps, they can understand, okay, the central and the New Delhi part, the central New Delhi part is emerging as the major hotspot of crime in Delhi. So this is one sample that how we are using the techniques and what kind of methodology we have used in order to understand the cyber social media crimes in Delhi, that which are the emerging hotspots, how it is distributed, what are the motives they have, what are the types which we have. So this is just one sample of the research which we have done for social media crime. Now another case study I like to share, in which we have used some other kind of methodology, again is on sustainable tourism development in Kinnaur district of Himachal Pradesh. Now we know that over the time tourism is growing as a big sector of the economy, and across the world people now have a lifestyle that they can afford it, and therefore it is increasing day by day. Greater connectivity is also promoting it. But even though it brings prosperity, but definitely it has its own disadvantages, that it creates a very haphazard and unsustainable development. Now, in order to do away with this, but we cannot stop our development. We have to develop tourism sector because sector because it offers us many benefits, like it results in cultural preservation, creation of jobs, and peace and security, environmental, economic growth, development. And therefore, if we see the GDP tourism statistics at a glance, then definitely it is making a it is showing a real good picture, and its contribution to GDP is definitely enhancing, growing day by day, and by 2028 is expected to grow at a much faster rate. Though over the world we can say that during the corona time period it has slowed down, but definitely years to come tourism sector will definitely grow and contribution to GDP would be remarkable. Now, in this situation, if we see, then there are many fragile areas which are important tourism center, but definitely there's a limit up to which tourism can be established in these areas, because these might be the areas. Why we are saying fragile? Because many of them in many of these areas definitely suffer from such problems which can, that any excessive development in these areas can cause tremendous amount of problem. Therefore, if we want to develop these areas, then we have to develop it with the help of some sustainable efforts. So here the objective of the study is that we want to understand the nature of tourism in the Kinnaur district. Kinnaur district is a part of Himachal Pradesh, a district of Himachal Pradesh, very fragile area. So we have to understand its physical and social infrastructure. We have to understand the carrying capacity of this area as a tourist site, and to evaluate the role of the government in promotion of tourism, promotion as well as the development, and the plans and strategies we have for sustainable tourism development in Kinnaur district. Now, this is the map of the study area, and this is again the methodology we have employed here. We have acquired the data through primary data and through secondary data. So here we have questionnaire, we have interviews, we have observations while we were there in the field. We have consulted journals, we have consulted articles, newspaper clippings, census data, census gadgeteers, because sometimes we have to collect data over the time period. Then census yearbook has also been consulted. Now, for data analysis, we have used statistical methods for tabulation, and then we have displayed them in the form of statistical diagram. We have geospatial methods, so we have clippings, we have map digitizations, we have used choroplething technique to present our data, cartographic technique, route map we have prepared, because that's very important from tourism perspective. Now, in order to understand the sustainability, it's very important, because when we are talking about the carrying capacity, so we can understand the carrying capacity by actually calculating the carrying capacity of that area. So we can have three levels of carrying capacity: physical carrying capacity, real carrying capacity, effective carrying capacity. And I'm not going into detail into that, but I'm just telling you that how we have to understand the carrying capacity through using different kind of methods, different kind of measures which are available to us. We can have SWOT analysis, in which we try to identify the strength, weakness, opportunities and threats which are there in the area, and after understanding all these things very well, then only a specific disaster plan can be prepared for an area. Now, study area map I've just shown you. So we have Himachal Pradesh. In Himachal Pradesh we have Kinnaur district. So, and Kinnaur district, 4 areas we have surveyed: Rekongpio, Kalpa, Sangla and Chitkul, from the perspective of the sustainable tourism. Now, these are the original photographs which were taken by us while we were there in the field. So this is the first photograph is the Kalpa Valley, then next is the Rekongpio, then again Rekongpio, and the last one, the snow covered area, is the Chitkul area. And the moment we entered this area, the day itself snowfall had started in that particular point. So we were blessed to see the snowfall with our students. Now, so the data has been compiled again in the form of statistical diagrams. So we have pie diagrams to show the structure of the houses, type of houses we have in that area, then the number of earthquakes. Now, why we have taken into consideration number of earthquakes is because the Kinnaur district is popular for occurrence of landslides and earthquake, and therefore when we are developing sustainable tourism in such fragile areas, then definitely this data cannot be neglected and will become an important aspect of our study. Now, in order to understand the fragileness of that area and to understand the vulnerability, the exposure, the likelihoodness of a particular hazard in this area, we have prepared different maps. So these maps are first indicating the geological profile. So what kind of rock structure is there in that area, what kind of drainage pattern is there, then the soil types which are available in this area, then what kind of population distribution. So we were unable to get it for the Kinnaur district, so we have taken the Himachal Pradesh distribution of population map. This has been prepared by us using GIS again. So we have around less than 2 lakh of population in the Kinnaur district. Finally, we have the seismic zonation map, and Kinnaur district falls in zone 4th and 5th, again very high risk zone area. So definitely you can see that now when tourist pressure will be increasing in that area, so how the fragileness can get disturbed if we are going for overdevelopment in this particular area, because it's already coming in an area of very high risk zone. And slowly, since many of the other parts of Himachal Pradesh like Shimla etc. are becoming too overcrowded, so people are looking for newer destinations, and definitely over the years a lot of increase has been seen in the tourism activity in Kinnaur district. Now this is finally the earthquake vulnerability assessment map we have prepared for Kinnaur district. So using the GIS as a tool and overlaying technique, what we have done is we have prepared various theme maps. So all the theme maps like soil, drainage, the population, the earthquake hazard, and the geological profile, all these have been overlaid, and finally we have been able to produce this vulnerability assessment. So here we can see that which are the areas which are more exposed to risk, and there are areas which are less exposed to risk. So when development agencies are going for any kind of development, then they can understand ki, okay, yes, this is the area which is very vulnerable, and therefore they should not disturb the fragileness of that particular area. So it becomes an important technique for planning for the tourism in those particular areas, because already it's a fragile area, and unless and until we understand the vulnerability in that area, any kind of development which we'll be going for in that area can prove to be disastrous. So therefore this is an important aspect, that how we can develop sustainable tourism. By understanding the vulnerability of that area, by understanding its carrying capacity, we can promote a sustainable tourism in the Kinnaur district. So the main objective behind showing you these is that basically what kind of research we are going for, with what objectives we have started this research, and how by using different methodologies, different data sets, and different tools and techniques which are available in geography, we have been able to bring out with some concrete results in the form of these maps I've shown you. Like here I've shown you the earthquake vulnerability assessment, and the previous study I've shown you the distribution as well as the emerging hotspot. So these can be used definitely for any kind of policy making, for any kind of plans being developed for this area, and definitely these are meeting most of the characteristics of the research we are doing. They are more accurate, they have some logical deductions, they have been developed with some sort of systematic framework, they are giving some concrete solutions to a problem which we have been researching. So I hope you have enjoyed this. I didn't want to make a very detailed research philosophy kind of lecture by discussing different philosophies, positivism, epistemology, and all that. So I thought, let me just brush up the basics of the research and discuss that how from geographic perspective or what kind of tools and techniques are available while we are going for geographic investigations, and how we are able to meet the research standard. So I hope you all have liked this lecture, and once again congratulations to the organizers, and all the very best to all the participants. Thank you so much.